for a large organization. Kazim has invited me to speak here at this blockchain conference. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to talk about, so they told me to discuss how we establish our careers in the 21st century. I'm using some new technology, so please bear with me if we have a few challenges. Well, I guess a little bit about me and my journey so far. So when I talked about my journey so far without the visuals, these are the visuals. So like I said, I've got a whole raft of skills, but I've been learning every day. And even in my new role, I'm now learning a new technology called ServiceNow. Written a number of books that you can find out about if you go online. And I'm also writing a new book called Geek by Day, Freak by Night. So this is our agenda for today. Building your skills, managing your professional career, like I said, understanding what's out there, and how do you go from where you are today to where you want to be tomorrow. So what do I mean about your skills in terms of blockchain? The first step for me is really investing in what I'll call your career capital. So whatever you want to do, a lot of people focus on how do I become a manager? How do I progress within an organization? But actually, the most important part is the skills that people will pay you for. That's what I call career capital. An important area that is often forgotten is the human skills, because today we live in a very online world, but you still need to be able to connect with people. So understanding how to engage with people is very important. But today is a great day for me because I'm actually addressing an audience in person. I did promise Kazim that I will be visiting soon, but travel restrictions have only just been lifted. So I'm hoping to get there in the near future to do this in person. Can I have the front row wave at me? I want to make sure I'm addressing people. You don't need to stand up, just wave, put your hand up. I can see the guy with the striped shirt. There you go. All right, so I've still got a room full of people. Can I just hear a little, can I get a little clap? Because I want to feel a bit of energy. I know it's a bit of lunchtime there, right? There you go. The next thing to think about is find yourself multiple mentors. So you're at a blockchain conference, right? And I call them skills mentors because when I was starting up in my career and even now, I look for people that are good at what I'm bad at so I can learn from them. So remember that it's not always going to be just one mentor. So look for different people that can help you in different ways. Also find career sponsors, right? So the difference between a career sponsor and a career mentor is that your mentor will teach you. They're a bit like the teacher. They'll teach you how to do certain things. Your sponsor is somebody that can speak on your behalf, even when you're not in the room. So if somebody says, oh, I think there's a job within a company or there's an internship available at the university, you need to work with them so that they trust you enough to say, you know what, I would recommend this person for that position. And even if you have somebody else that doesn't believe in you in the room, your sponsor would always be an advocate for you. So that's the difference between the two. And also always focus on how can I? So if there's a job, an opportunity or something, and it says, you know what, you need 10 years of .NET experience, don't let that put you off. Just think about it as, if I go into the interview, how can I explain that even though I don't have 10 years of .NET experience, it's not because I don't want to. Maybe it's because you were only born 20 years ago. So in order to have .NET experience for 10 years, you would have had to start at 10. Almost impossible. So you want to change the conversation into, how can I explain to them that I am good enough, but I don't need to meet their paper requirements. How many of you use Twitter? Is it still banned in Nigeria? Don't put your hands up in case the government is monitoring, all right? So how many of you use social media? Hands up, please. Facebook, Telegram, Signal, Agege Bus. No? So this is what I mean about managing your professional brand, because what you put out there today is what your future will depend on. So don't be this guy. I don't know who he is, but I found an article out there. So if you are going to post things in Telegram, whatever media you are in, just remember that would you be proud of your employer searching for you online and finding it? So remember, the employers today, they search for brands, they don't search for candidates, because you come in with your career capital and it's based on the skills you have, your online profiles. And, Kazim will tell you, I mean, I've been a Microsoft MVP 6 years in a row. I'm retired, right? But some employers will be looking for those credentials. So control it. Don't let them control it. So if you want to test it out, if you Google my full name today, this is what you would find. I control everything that goes online, right? So I've been involved in books. I speak in different places, and I even have like what's called a Google panel. I didn't create that. It was created for me because of me managing my professional brand. So remember that as you build your career, if you're going to tweet something, if you're going to put something on Instagram, just make sure that you'll be proud of it in 10 years' time. But if you're not sure, use some very cryptic pidgin English. So when they translate it, nobody understands it. So what's out there? Seeing that we're at a blockchain conference, I thought, well, how do I explain how you go job hunting today, right? So how many of you are in your first year of university? Show of hands. Second year? Just about to graduate? Mommy and daddy is trying to kick you out of the house because they want you to go and earn more money. There you go. So this one is for you, right? So everybody thinks, well, I want to be a web developer. I want to be a .NET or whatever it is. But if I think about blockchain today, if I was to go and look for a job, how do I search for it, right? What skills are required and what experience do I need? Also try and understand what the industry sectors are actually employing today, right? And then focus on the gaps in the market. If everybody is doing it, your value is going to be much lower than areas where they're struggling to find people. Oh, sorry, I'll redistribute these slides at the end of the session so the event organizer can send it out. And you can also hit me up on Twitter after this session. I see that there's some good people in the front row taking notes like me. I've got my notebook here with me as well. I'm always taking notes. So what do I mean by it? Using this conference as an example, I simply went into a search engine and said, blockchain jobs and cryptocurrency jobs. This is what popped up. As you can see, you've got a whole variety of jobs that come up. So this tells me this is what the industry is looking for. But then I clicked into being an IT geek, I clicked into the blockchain infrastructure engineer to say, well, what are they looking for? So again, when I looked into it, it's breaking it down into the areas I should focus on and areas that maybe I should seek other mentors or sponsors, because your sponsor will help to back you up to say, Kazim doesn't have all of these skills, but I know he does this other skill really well. But if I were to study, this will be the area that I'll be looking into to say, okay, I should invest in Docker maybe because it helps with a blockchain job, or Terraform. So this is the way to approach looking for what's out there. So the other thing to think about is I believe in this concept concept of the adjacent possible. So I thought, well, rather than just looking at the blockchain jobs, where else is blockchain being used? So I found this article on one of the European sites that shows that blockchain is impacting climate change or green initiatives. So again, you can start looking at it from that industry sector to say, well, what else is using this technology or this area I'm investing in? So my key to you, my message to you is your value is going to be about finding empty spaces in crowded places. And in the 21st century, where people are YouTubing, Instagramming, online this, online that, your value is going to be which space are you going to fill as an entrepreneur or as an employee. But remember, always mind your own business, because even if you work for somebody, it's still your business. So what do I mean by going from as is to be, right? Remember, you need to start now. I used to say all technology dies, because they do, right? The programs I was using 10 years ago, they don't exist today, right? The phones you were using yesterday, they're going to be superseded in about 2 months' time. So remember that technology evolves, so don't fall in love with it. Fall in love with what it can allow you to do, right? And also invest in different domains. I mean, I'm being educated about blockchain today. I had to go and research it, but I understood databases, distributed models, and centralized models. So I was able to pull in knowledge from one place to understand what we're doing now, right? And remember, you need to make your passion valuable. How many of you play football here? Left back or right back? Abi, you all be strikers. No defenders, no goalkeepers. Right, there you go. Right, and for the ladies in the room, and others from all backgrounds, I know football's not the only game. So when I talk about passion, first and foremost, I'm using football as an example. I used to play football, but nobody's going to pay me to play football unless I'm really, really good. And it's a limited market. It's only 11 players on the field. So the gap is actually, if I'm good enough in football and I'm passionate about it, maybe I want to study to be a coach. So then I can combine my passion with what I get paid for. Or cooking, I love to cook. It's a very big difference between, by the way, I'm originally from Ghana, so we make better jollof than you do, right? So, yeah, there you go. Shaking your head. No. You Nigerians, you put too much pepper in it, right? I have to show you a new flex, right? With smoked mackerel. You don't even do that. All you do is, you're using suya and dollar. So I tell you, they'll pay me more for my jollof than Nigerian jollof. But don't tell your mom, because I won't take any woman on in Africa in cooking. They'll make me look bad, right? So remember that as you go through your career, you're going to be going from where you are today. Remember, you're always growing. So there's going to be a point where you're good enough, but keep on pushing yourself to be better. So I talked to you about going from as is to be. You can't jump from where you are today to being the best. Keep on getting good enough. Drive yourself to get better, because that's your future, right? I promised Kazim that I'll finish on time so I can leave you some time for questions. If I don't like them, I'll ask the organizers to answer them. If I like them, I'll make up the answers. But it's been really great talking to you, albeit remotely. So we covered your skills blockchain, how to manage your professional brand, understanding what's out there, and going from as is to be. You can also hit me up on LinkedIn, and I actually did a little session called Advancing Your Career with Curiosity and Mistakes. It gives you a few more tips. It will help you out. If it's useful, use it. If not, make your own so that I can use it. So on that note, thank you very much. And if you have any questions, Kazim, you can either ask them, or if there's a mic going around, I don't know how you're asking questions. So thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much, sir.
You don't want to argue Ghana jollof rice and Lagos jollof rice. Also argue that.
Yeah, it's allowed actually. All right, so we have a question.
Okay, so he asked that what are the future of blockchain?
Excellent question. So the future of the blockchain, if you ask me, it's like asking me what's the future of the internet, right? So because blockchain, it's got multiple uses today, right? It's being used in terms of the cryptocurrency industry. But the research that I've done at the moment is showing that it's being applied across multiple industries. So in terms of the future, it's transforming any industry that is going away from centralized control to decentralized, processes that uses the principles of blockchain. But I think in terms of this particular event, when I watched the intro video, the lady that was presenting it, she was so excited. She was talking about all of these things. The short version of this answer is the future is you, my friend, right? It's what you make it, because that's where your value is going to be, right? So you shouldn't be asking me what the future is. You should be now creating a future so that we can all benefit from it. So that's the way to picture it. But if you go through your favorite search engine, like I did, you'll find out that it's being used in so many places. And when you think about just climate change alone, it's big at the moment in terms of its application. So that's where I'll see the future going, especially now that all of these countries have pledged to reducing green room gases, as well as companies also making those pledges.
Please a round of applause for him once again. I think we have one more question, and that will be the final question for Mr. Sam. Please be audible enough for him to hear you.
My question is, what's the role of non-tech careers like the accountants, human resource personnel in the blockchain industry? How will they be fitting in the blockchain industry, knowing that blockchain is already the future? So how will these persons that don't deal with technology fit into the blockchain industry?
All right. Mr. Sam, did you get the question, sir?
I got a little bit of it. So you're looking for the application of blockchain in the career world for non-technical people. Was that the essence of the question?
Yes.
Excellent. So that's why I did my research. When you look at the kind of jobs that are out there, and when I was researching it, right, it ranged from the trade room to, marketing directors, etc. So technology nowadays is not the career, it's just something that we use. So in terms of that application, those industries that use blockchain, even if you don't have a tech career, if you're working in a climate change industry and you're the marketing person, the salesperson, or HR, you will need to understand that industry, the technology, in order to attract the right people to grow your organization. So I would say don't focus on the technological aspects of it. Think about the industries that are using it and understanding how it will help you, because you would be the boss of somebody that is in the technology industry as a skill set, but you will need to understand at a very basic or general level how they can help your business. So that's how a non-tech person can combine the skills from somebody that's technical in the blockchain world, but you do need to understand how it changes your industry.